Bada bing, bada boom. Oh yeah, I like that. Spread it, baby. Ba ba da ba ba da ba. Oh, we've got one watching. Reveal yourself. Should I go live on Insta? I've never gone live on Insta before. Oh, blimey. Ba ba da da ba da ba ba da da ba da ba ba da da ba da bum. Mama loves mambo, baby dee dee doo. Mama loves mambo, oh, dearie, dearie me. How does one? Hello, everyone coming in. Hello. No, I can't do that. I can't be doing that. I was considering going live on Instagram, but I haven't done it before, and I don't want to walk into a minefield. If you've got tracks, then link them right now. Give me old tracks, peeps. Do 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 do. I'll do one of these. Hello, everyone. Let's get the chat going. How is everyone doing? Have I disabled chat or something? I don't think so. Can someone type something? Okay. Oh, bloody hell. It's all just poured through. That's really weird. Normally, okay, we got some tracks. Normally the chat just comes up, but it was hidden for some weird reason. Don't know why that is. Yeah, I remember what I have to do. Open link in a new window. Punji, of course. Mr. Abel Alvarez. Oh, that's going to start.
To be around here somewhere.
Hello, everyone. You were buffering for a sec. Well, how am I now? Am I good now? What does the second word there mean? I'm not quite sure what the second word there means. Mr. Jason. Jason Derulo. That's you. Oh, I thought. Yeah. So it is every other Sunday. However, I'm away next weekend. So I couldn't leave it 2 weekends, could I? I couldn't leave it 2 weekends without doing it. So yeah, I thought I'd do it this weekend instead. How have I been? I've been okay. Not bad. Big few weeks ahead, I think, because I've got very busy weekends, so I'm gonna have to record and all of that ahead of schedule. Yes, it is. Shall I go and get it? I'll go and get it. Yeah, you can submit. Of course you can. It's my only dubstep vinyl. My friend got it for me. It's pretty cool, isn't it? It's very clean. Nice little back as well with the remix on it as well from Z, is it? Yeah. Oh yeah, we all miss it, mate. We all miss it. There's nothing we can do. Skrillex is gone. He's done for. No, I'm joking. I wouldn't go that far, but yeah. Again, guys, if you've got any tracks you want to submit, and get fed back on, reviewed, whatever, send them my way. Which one? Who here watched either the Ivory and Samplifier review or the Tramper review? Big ups if you did. You watched both. I'm actually going to take this opportunity now, because I was thinking of doing a poll or something, which I probably will still keep doing. But I really want to know from you guys what you want to see me do, how you want to see me change my reviews up. I want brutal honesty. But yeah, I'd love to know, because I want to potentially change some things up. So you know, if you've got any you've got feedback from me. Yeah, mate, I wanted to kind of stay away from talking about Rico Act in that review too much, because otherwise it would just be like a demolition review, you know. Okay. Yeah, I mean, you can be as honest and brutal as you like, Mr. Fataliev. I suppose I could do a review just after I've heard it for the first time, but then I think that would kind of be doing it a disservice, you know. Okay, we've got 4 tracks. Again, if you want to send in a track, I'm going to be starting in about a couple of minutes, so obviously you can send them in whenever, but you're too smart for me. Oh dear. I'll try and rein that in a bit. I am always wary of that, you know. I'm always worried that maybe I'm saying something that, you know, is maybe, I don't know, a bit too highfalutin. If anyone knows that yeah. But oh, that's very kind. That's very kind. I think, yeah, the way I kind of talk about stuff, I would find it difficult not to talk about dubstep like that. You know what I mean? Like, I really appreciate the inner workings of it, and I want to go in as much detail as I can, and I want to kind of paint my own picture when I'm talking about something. But I'm trying to find ways that I can make it, you know, more appealing and attractive. But, you know, big ups for all who appreciate. Much love, and to those that don't, of course. Anyone that's watching. My favorite producer of all time. Hello, Josh. I don't know who my favorite producer of all time is. That's quite a difficult question. I don't think I could answer that just now on the spot, but I'll get back to you on that one. I might make a video on it maybe at some point. But I think even if I gave you an answer, I wouldn't. I'd still be pissed off with myself after choosing one person who's my favorite producer of all time. Top 5. I think in terms of like, it's so difficult. In terms of the amount of like great songs they've given me over the years, I'd probably have to go with Skrillex. Obviously Skrillex, Knife Party, The Frim. I love The Frim so much. Rip. Who else? In terms of Zomboy's probably given me loads of amazing, like, standout, memorable hits over the years, you know. I think in terms of favorite EPs from the last 2 I just reviewed, I'd probably have to go with Knockout. Just about. Yeah, no bullying, no bullying. Joyride, yeah, Joyride is also a favorite of mine over the years. When he was part of Let's Be Friends as well, of course, that was amazing. Oh, Abel, mate, you must be new here, my friend. I can't play clips. I can't play clips, man. When I used to do that, I used to get fully, like, not full copyright strikes, but I used to get them being like, yeah, don't do this again, sort of thing on my videos. And then there are other music channels that use music, and they had, you know, their channels like threatened to be taken down and stuff. So I'm not even going to start doing that, because once I do it, you know, people kind of latch onto it and be like, oh yeah, you know, great stuff. I just can't do it, unfortunately. I personally, you know, it would be ideal to, but you know, I'll go about that the right way. Oh, I've got another link. 1 sec. Would you be EDM anthem? Would you be able to put like hello, mate? Would you be able to put yeah, EDM anthem? Would you be able to put like a proper link into, so I can just click it? I did get your track, Lastronica. I'm just going to start listening to them now. First off, we have Gactix with Time Machine, not Hype Machine, Time Machine. All right, let go. I like this a lot. Is this under a label or something? Because it's got a proper graphic behind it and everything. It's looking pretty. If you go to the top of the chat for this live stream and click on the first link from Gactix, it's some pretty sweet visuals going on here. Oh, royalty free. Fair enough. I don't know, Gactix. I don't know if it's my just listening to it out of the computer rather than on headphones, but the snare needs to be a little bit crisper, I think. If this is a track that you're working on, or if you're just going to use this kind of advice going forward, I would have the snare a bit punchier, a bit snappier. But overall, I'm really enjoying it. Just that snare could make it like fucking yeah, you know. But the piano's really sweet. I like it. It's like it's luring me in, you know. It's making me want to hear more. musicality is spot on, man. I really like, you know, the piano on the top is just following the musicality underneath perfectly. I'm enjoying that. I'm enjoying that. I'm gonna reference the mix down first into the first drop. Yeah, there just needs to be more of an impact on that first drop. Perhaps maybe by filtering out the build a little bit, and then making sure that all the percussion is much like weightier and heavier. Then you'll get much more of an impact on that drop and much more of a contrast from one section to another. It's nice though. I mean, I like the idea, and nice coming together as sounds for the most part. Some of the dubstep bits are a little out of place, but I think for the most part, some good selection going on there. Yeah, again, the mix down. Just watch how you transition between sections, and especially into like drops where you need that big impact. And also, some of the dubstep does just come out of nowhere a bit, in my opinion. But the sounds used are good. They are good. I appreciate the sounds being used. Got another link. Thank you, Mr. Jared Clements. Random person. This is quite sweet as well. Mate, like your musicality is like pretty much spot on. Like you're doing that bit great. I think it's how you integrate the heaviness into the musical parts, you know, because you've got that musical aspect pretty on point, in my opinion. Oh yeah, nice note choice there. Oh yeah. That is really very juicy indeed. Yeah, same story again with the mix down. You could perhaps even extend or build on the musicality at that point for the second drop. Obviously, this is either a finished track or you would prefer to just, you know, keep on with what you had in the first drop, which is fair enough. But, you know, you could take it to another level entirely by just completely switching it up. Yeah, it's that percussion, man. It's got to be much heavier and much more, you know, kind of, you need to feel the force of it. at the moment, it's kind of in the distance a bit. Yeah, man. That's really well managed at the end as well. That's sweet, yeah. Good stuff. I like how that dies down and kind of quells, comes to a standstill at the end. Very pretty indeed. Like it, Mr. Gactix. Go and check him out, guys. Link at the top of the chat if you like that tune. Next up, we have Tefra and Riot's Revenge with it's either Auxesis or Auxesis. Aux or Aux. It's going to be one of them, isn't it? I'm sure, Mr. Yeah, I can tell it's Greek, mate. Yeah, but how do you pronounce it? Random person, was your track the medieval game intro? My favorite Skrillex song? Well, I'm actually not going to tell you that because I'm going to make a video on my favorite Skrillex stuff pretty soon, I think. Did you send me a link in the end? Aha! Yeah, I got it. Don't you worry, boy. Random person with Joyride. I feel like... No. For a second, I thought I'd heard it before. Anyway, here we go. Track number 2, Tefra and Riot's Revenge with Auxesis version 3. I'm gonna start again because I was busy charging my mouse. It's quite good. I like it. That little cymbal is perfect. Nice little bounce and rhythm to it. Personally, for me, the snare's a little bit spacious. If you get me, it's kind of going like it's a bit too airy. Where I would perhaps have it a bit sharper. But I like the intro. Yeah, it's painting a picture for sure. Could perhaps have stopped it at that point after that few bars, unless it does something pretty big now leading up into the build or drop. Yes, it's always a difficult thing, like never really knowing when to cut something off. And to be honest, with most examples, it works either way. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. I don't know what's going on there, but on every like there's like a little fuzz beneath it. I don't know if that was intended, but to me it sounds a little slightly off. Yeah. So, like that. Maybe it's just my ears, I don't know. Oh, okay. So I really like that. I personally, hang on. It went I would have put in another one in there, just to kind of spice it up even more. But I like that sound anyway. I like how it just kind of jumps at you. That's good. Oh. Oh, I could have had a little bit more of that actually, you know. Just like having a few more bars of that savageness, which I thought that was a really good development. Just kind of build on it in little small ways, like maybe put different notes in different places or whatever. But yeah, I like that little change. Percussion for me here, not quite enough is going on. Sounds a bit too empty and spacious. Obviously, there is stuff going on there, but there's a few too many gaps for my liking. And that's where that bit picks it up with the little maracas. Oh, we got another link. It's very I don't know if draconian is even the right word, but no, it's not the right word at all. I'm thinking of like the kind of thing that you would set like a vampire film in or something. Like Van Helsing or something, but obviously a film that's a bit better than Van Helsing. Oh yeah, that mix down was top notch. Like that whole transition into the drop, nice. Don't try to do too much in bits like that. You can hear. Maybe you can't hear because that's like the kind of thing where you know you listen to your own tracks so much that you kind of become unaware of what's working and what isn't. But for me, I feel like you guys are trying to fit a little too much in there because you can hear that some of them aren't quite on beat or in time. They're kind of catching up on each other. Oh! Oh, okay. Goes back into the intro. I expected some more dubstep at that point, but maybe that's just me expecting something and not necessarily what works. Keeps you on your feet, which is good. Just gonna skip a little bit. Could have ended there, in my opinion. Just a little boom, like a fade out. That's a cool ending as well with the laugh. Good track, yeah. There are bits that I would change slightly, and I actually don't think that they are too drastic. I think in some cases it's just cutting down specific sections, which is always, if you can do it, a good thing, I think, because it makes a track shorter. You know, you want to make it shorter up to an extent. You know, you don't want to make it under 2 minutes or something like that. But I think there are bits you could kind of cut a few bars off to make it more succinct as a track, and a few bits that need a little bit of refining. But I think the foundations are there for another solid track, Mr. Tefra. Next track, no hate on this chat, please. None of that. I will out you if you are spreading the hate. Oh yeah, also guys, if you're posting a track that isn't yours, and I'm not gonna I won't be listening to it here, I'm afraid. I'm only feeding back people's own tracks, so I can give advice and another opinion to them. Yeah, here we go. Next track is called, hang on, it's called, the account's called Buka's Finest Topic, so I'm not really sure. I mean, it's not going to be him, so I'm very like, what is this? What is this? It's from 2016 as well. I think I'm gonna, yeah, I'm gonna X that one. Next up, we have Lastronica with a work in progress called Execute. Here we go. I really like openings like that, you know, just like a bit tinny, but you know they're doing that on purpose. You know, it's kind of like a, I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain, like a robot starting up or something like that. I'm going to play it again from the beginning. Like slightly out of focus, you know, just not fully like the realized thing yet. You're very aware that something's gearing up and kicking into action, which is cool. Snare, man. Yeah, it's like a bit, I don't know, it's too muffled. It's not at the forefront, basically, is what I'm trying to say. You want it to snap a lot more. Overall, I'm quite enjoying that idea, though. It's kind of like it's a nice development from the intro. It's a bit no, I'm just going to carry on. Very interesting sounds. I like that. I think there's a really nice relationship between everything going on. I think like they're all kind of going on the same journey together, if that makes sense. But obviously needs a bit of refining on the sounds, like sonically. Just needs like HDifying, if you will. Yeah, and that I've said it before, but that just comes with kind of practice and stuff. I'm just going to go through the build again. They're in. Just really like some really cool sounds there, actually. But yeah, it all starts with the percussion. So if you work on that first, then that'll inspire you to work on the synths more, because through the percussion is when a track sort of comes alive, and that's where you add the flair. It's where you add the flair and the kind of neat little touches to sprouse it up a bit, make it a bit prettier than you can just with the percussion. So yeah, I think there are some good ideas in place, and sounds, of course. I really like the Uzi. It's a bit manic. I think there are points where you can, no, actually, I'm going to backtrack on that. I actually think it's doing the right thing, but it just needs something to make it a bit cleaner, and a bit more accessible as it goes forward. What up? This is really good, this bit. And really, I'm really liking that. I think that's really quite clever, actually. It's just the drums, mate. Once you do them drums, once you do them right, you're onto a winner, I think. Yeah, you get them drums down, then you are gonna just have a ball. You're gonna have a ball kind of refining all the other sounds in here, all the synths and stuff. It's gonna be great fun for you. I'm excited for you, man. I think we've got 10 tracks now, guys, by the way. Yeah, three out of 4. I got yours. I got your track, don't worry. I've got it. Hello. Hey. That's very, like, I enjoy. It's crazy. It's mad. It's wild. It does come out of nowhere, but it definitely works within the context of the track. What am I trying to? Just, I think you can have even more like breaks in that section, in that drop section, just so that everything that comes in just has more impact. So you could, when you hear kind of halftime or neuro-y stuff like that, Noisier, for example, you'll hear a lot of breaks in their music that just mean that everything that comes after that break is like felt proper. So you can have those moments of silence, and that goes for everyone, actually. A couple breaks and moments of silence work really well in a track. Nice one. That is sweet, man. Yeah, loads of that I really enjoyed. Good stuff. Good stuff. We've had 3, so 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we've got 10 tracks now. Alrighty. It's time for the 4th track, Lastronica. Well done, mate. Stuff to work on, but the foundation is there. Oh, this is 32 seconds long, this track. Hey. Big tune. That was good. That was good. That's it. That's it. 32 seconds long. I think I'm going to allow one more track in for that. So Dark Unicorn, just post a link to the track. That was decent banter. Decent banter. Now we have Random Person with Joyride. Go on then. Oh, what vibe am I getting here? I'm starting it again. Kind of like if Fox Stevenson and Xylent did a collab. Oh. For me, that was a bit off. That but overall, liking it so far. Tico by Fox Stevenson. Needs a couple little more percussive touches, in my opinion. Just a couple little more like a few more like maybe higher pitched ones. But yeah, I'm feeling that. But it just needs a little tiny couple little more things to make it like spot on. Because there are just points where it sounds slightly empty. Nice. There's a little bit of distance between the separate components there. I don't know, maybe it's because I'm not listening with headphones, but it's probably that, to be honest. But yeah, like you can hear they're separate from each other when ideally you want them to sound like they're one thing, if that makes sense. Yeah, you know what I mean, like that. It's a bit too distant. It's like it's somewhere over there, whilst everything else is right at the forefront. Do you know what I mean? So you want that to be a part of the whole, as opposed to just something separate on the side. Ooh, hello, it's Exile. Sorry, Exile has entered the chat, but I want to know if I'm saying Exile right, or if it's Exile. If you don't know of Exile, then go check out his remix of Rage. Came out, I think, last week or the week before. Exile. Sick. Yeah, making movements on Interval Audio. Big ups. Big ups, Interval Audio. musicality underneath those vocal notes needs to follow it. So you need like that energy, that kind of vibrant energy with the musicality and the chords kind of propping the track up. Because at the moment, those vocal notes, those they're kind of they're just there. They're not really offering enough because there's nothing underneath it, no musicality kind of pushing it forward. Oh, the main drop idea, I wouldn't say is for me, although there are some really nice touches and breaks in there. Yeah, I wasn't quite captivated by the drop on first release, I must say. Right now, or as soon as you leave this chat, look up, I think it's called Wine Dem, Just Say Yes remix. And if you're, if you're making stuff like this usually or on the regular, yeah, Wine Dem, Just Say Yes remix. Check that song out. If you're making stuff like this, like on the regular, use that for inspiration. That is like a perfect. That is exactly the example I would give for kind of where I would improve this track in terms of the drop. How the impact. You want the impact of that drop to be felt right from the very start. Yeah. Some great samples there, though, to be fair. Yeah, it just needs more of a chemistry between all the different parts, I think the idea is great, and I really love the energy and the kind of brightness of it, but it just needs more glue. It needs something gluing everything together and making it sound more organic and genuine. Nice. Yeah. Okay, that's good. Definitely, still needs a bit of attention, like a bit of cleaning up and a bit of focus on the interaction between sounds. Because some of them do just come out of nowhere. But I think as a second drop idea, I think it's pretty fresh. So good, that little. I do like how you've mixed the dubstep, the heaviest parts, and the kind of brightest parts, the chirpiest, happiest parts. But it does need, if you're going to do that, it does need to be, again, it does need to feel kind of organic as a mix. Good stuff. Good concept. Oh no, not too sure on that bit of the end either, I'm afraid. Okay. Interesting vocal sample at the end. yeah, just needs a little bit of cleaning up. I like the concept. Yeah, just I don't know if this is something that you finished completely or if it's in the works, but yeah, whatever you can do to it, if you are going to keep working on it, then just yeah, do it if you can. Okay, next we have another 1-minute track called El Mal Idea Unmaster Unfinished by Cladaze. A bit dubious, but here we go. Oh! Oh, yeah! Mate, you're lucky. You're lucky I'm not a bass house producer, because I'll be stealing that from you in no time at all. Oh, shit! Do it again. Oh. Fuck me. I really like that. I'm going to play it again from the start. Oi! So cheeky. I can't get enough of that. Oh. Yeah, I mean, honestly, mate, I almost feel bad for playing it out loud. But that was cheeky. That was cheeky. Yeah, work on that for sure. Decent. What are we saying about that? Bass house in this, yeah. I mean, it's definitely, obviously it needs to be built on. It's not finished by any means. It's just like a drop idea, but bloody hell, I think it's a good one. Sorry, and I'm surprised someone hasn't done that before, because that's fucking cheeky as fuck. Okay, next we have Cybersex. No, surely not. Not actual cybersex. Is it? Is it actual cybersex, mate? This is mad. All right, cool. Gonna. This is an exclusive preview, guys, of a whip from Cybersex. This is cool. I hope you're ready. This is a another interval audio mainstay. So I hope you're ready. It doesn't really have a name. I can't pronounce the name, but yeah, here we go. I mean, I know something savage is going to come pretty soon, but I'm really liking this sweet opening. It's very nice. It's like, I mean, no one really likes a Skrillex comparison, but it reminds me of a lot of that kind of early, very ethereal, overtly beautiful kind of Skrillex introduction stuff. Hints of Virtual Right in there, hints of Alvin Risk even. Who remembers Alvin Risk, mate? That is a throwback. Epic. Yo, who is listening to this track? I'm afraid I'm not accepting tracks anymore because I've got 10. But who's listening to this track? Listen to the drums on that track, fam. For me, I think it needs a clear idea shining through. Needs a bit more of a clear idea shining through. But you know, the sounds are nice. They're very, as I said, like ethereal, airy, kind of heavenly feel to them, which is nice kind of contrast with the heaviness of the track. I expected something a lot more savage, but I'm very. This was a welcomed surprise for sure. Yeah, I think it needs more of a clear idea shining through, but you know, the quality of the sound is like top notch. We've got quite a long interlude now. Mr. GD Midnight 17. I'm doing this every other week, so I'm doing this every other week. So don't worry if you didn't get your track in this week. I'm doing it in a couple of weeks from now again, and every other Sunday. So. Yeah, I mean, it just builds really nicely. I'm trying to think what I would. I mean, it is beautiful. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I think it goes for a certain feeling, and it does that very well. But whether it needs something else, just I might comment on it. You know, whether it needs something else, just kind of ideas wise. You know, because at the moment it's kind of, for me, it's kind of like the same sound being used throughout the track, which isn't, you know, consistency is great, but a little bit of variation, I think, at this point would, like, just taking, you know, that vocal sample. I think it's a vocal sample. I could be wrong. But just taking it off in like another direction entirely, kind of creating a new journey or avenue of appreciation for the track. I like how it dips into the normal, you know, percussive structure from the delay filled glitchy sort of first part of the drop. I think it transitions into that really well, because that glitchy first bit, I don't think I'm entirely sure on. I think that could be, in terms of like the timing and space and the placement of specific synths and sounds, I think could be sort of managed a tiny bit better, maybe, just with a little bit more refinement and detail and care. but I think the general concept is what he's doing with the drops here is top notch. Very Must Die, actually. Very nice. I don't think Cybersex is on the chat, but Exile, you can tell him that I enjoyed that. I dropped a comment on the track. Decent. Right, now we have Berserk, Matthew Fields remix. Who's ready? Let's go. I like this intro. Yeah, I'm liking this intro. I think you could put a bit of reverb on some of those sounds, I think, to make it a bit more atmospheric and spacious. Because at the moment, I think you've got a good idea in place, but it doesn't quite have a presence. It's just like, it's more just there, if that makes sense. And yeah, as I said, you have got a good idea down there, and I think it's a nice introduction, but could just have a bit more body to it. Make it more epic, you know? Oh, that little that heavenly vocal note just before the drop. I'm liking that. Let's hear it again. Again, it's the snares, man. Snares are a bane of every dubstep producer at the moment, I swear, but you can't, your drop cannot, it won't deliver unless it's got a punchy, snappy snare. Like, it's practically impossible. If you listen to it again, you'll get what I mean, but it's just like, you need it'll just unleash something completely new in the track. It'll be like a gold mine for you, honestly, and for anyone else. Like, literally, if you get the snare down, you're in a bloody good place. I can tell you that much. Oh yeah, nice. Some of the sounds here that are used are really nice. I'm liking the kind of alien-like feel to them. See ya, Exile, mate. I'm afraid I've already got 10 tracks for this week, my friend, the quest. But as I said, doing this many more times throughout the year, so just make sure you're there. think it's going off in a few too many directions for me. I like the sounds. I've said this already. I like the sounds on the show. I think you've got some good like design on some of those sounds, but yeah, I think it just goes off in a few too many directions for me, I'm afraid. Good though. I mean, yeah, the overall like feel of it and force of the sound generally. I think you've apart from the snare, of course, you've got that. And I think the kind of there's a nice awareness of it. So what I mean by that is that you know kind of when to move to a new section within the dubstep, and I think it kind of ticks along nicely in that respect. But just needs yeah, just needs like a little even a little bit more awareness, just to kind of work on the interaction between some of those sounds. And yeah, because yeah, again, there's a bit too much space there. Like some of the space isn't filled enough. But yeah, I mean, I think generally the concept is good. It just needs a bit more fleshing out, refining. You know, usual kind of things that I've said before with other people. But that, I mean, a lot of the time that is what it is. You know, you have a good idea and it just needs a bit more kind of substance to it. And in this case, I think the idea is there and it just needs a few more little touches to make it pretty good. So yeah, if you were up for working on it, then do. But obviously that was for the remix competition, so I can understand why it would be finished. Next we have Plague with Toxic. Plague with Toxic. Here we go. How was everyone's weekend, by the way? What did people get up to? I like this kind of ravey feel to this one. I'm liking that. That squeal in the background is a bit distracting, though, I would say. Goes on for quite a while, this bit, doesn't it? Okay. It's kind of weird because I didn't expect that. I didn't see that coming. Just kind of melted into that. I wouldn't even call it a drop. It's kind of more like a kind of like a continuous track. Yeah, I think some distinction was needed between those two sections, but I'm going to keep listening. I think it's a particular kind of aesthetic, you know, kind of fuzzy, garagey kind of music, which I can appreciate. I definitely have time for. But this, I mean, it just needs a little bit more clarity, I think. I can't distinguish some of the sounds. Again, maybe that's because I'm just listening on computer speakers, but I think I'd be able to tell regardless, you know, kind of if a sound was being a bit too much, if that makes sense. Just needs a bit more variation. I think the general concept is quite interesting, and I'm liking it. I'm liking the continuous nature of it, but yeah, it just needs a bit more variation, in my opinion. And then just dips back into that. Fair. Good day with the lads. What did you do with the lads, random person? Oh, right. It was a joke. Not Luke. It was a joke. Okay, fair enough. If you didn't actually enjoy it, then, you know, I'll cut it off for now. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Wacky. What have you been sick with? Yeah, I mean, for future, just put the link in the comments of this this chat whenever it goes up. Cool. Love a bit of FIFA. Who do you support? Final track, guys, from Barely. I like the spelling of that. With Can't Cope. It's unreleased. I don't know if that means that he still wants to work on it more, or whether that means it's done. It just hasn't been released yet. But let's give it a listen. Okay. Okay, first off, I would say nice opening. I like the scene that's being set here, but there is those like ravenous sounds just when the percussion really kicks in. I think are slightly off, or maybe you can use them, but just be a bit more wary of where they're coming in. You don't want them to be kind of like too jagged or ill-fitting within the track. Love a couple grime vocals, you know that. I don't know if this is easily changeable, but it feels to me like the drums and the vocal aren't quite aligned, like the kicks and the vocal aren't quite aligned. So the kick will come and then the vocal will come just after it, and they're not like flowing, or they're not going in the same direction at the same time. I hope that makes sense, and I hope that is something potentially that you were thinking of changing about. That's quite good, you know. Oh, yeah, I like this dubstep a lot. To be fair, yeah, I'm liking that. Some nice sounds, good dynamic between them, good appreciation for space and timing going on. I think you've got like that bridimy kind of percussion, like on point, like proper, you know, large feeling to the percussion. Gives the track a real kind of presence and, you know, epic feel, which is good. Nice, mate. Very juicy sounds in here. I'm liking it. Runs the risk slightly of becoming a little too messy, I think, with those sounds. If you're able to make them, you know, it's if you can and if you are working on it, you know, just to make them a bit clearer so that each one can be heard quite distinctly. Because at the moment there's a risk of them, you know, kind of becoming layered a bit too much to the extent that some of them are a bit inaudible. Nice, mate. I don't think we've had a double drop today, and that's good. Again, it's a thing of making the dubstep synths just a little bit more accentuated. That's the word I'm looking for. Just like, you know, give them much more like of a sharp kind of feeling so that there's no kind of risk of them sounding muffled or too scratchy or teary or, you know, then you're on to a winner. I really like how at points actually, for some of it the vocal doesn't quite fit over the instrumental in my opinion, but there are points where it just dances over it really well. Oh yeah, mate. Well, check out, if you want, you know, I'm sure you know this already, but if you want any kind of examples to go off, then look at Woolly, Company. Not Sorry is also a good one. Wild Boys. Definitely check those guys out if you're not like aware of their shit. All that Bridemy, large, vacuous kind of music. I'll drop another one in the comments for you actually. One sec. Barely, check that bad boy out. What up, John? How you doing, my friend? Barely, check that track out, and you'll get so many ideas, mate. Honestly, you'll get a lot of ideas, and you can use that as an example. This bit is like so spot on. Like you've got a little bit of musicality underneath. I assume you've got some sub bass in there, and then all these different sounds kind of throwing themselves at you, but they're all put together really well. You know, it's just like there's nothing kind of sounding off about it, apart from, as I said, a little bit of over the top scratchiness with some of the synths, but that's it really, I think. I would also, for the end, for that end and for the opening, maybe contemplate having like a chugging like bass line underneath it, like a dung 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 dung, like just to keep it, just to give it that bit more meatiness, kind of plump feeling. I think it would, you know, give it even more kind of juicy feeling. But yeah, that was a very solid track, Mr. Bailey. Thank you very much for sending that my way. And yeah, who have we got left? All good. You're a legend too, John. I'm glad you can make it. No worries, Bailey. I hope you got some wise words from that. Got a very big video coming on Tuesday, guys. Some of you might have seen on Instagram, but if you haven't and you follow Code Pandorum, then go and check out his Instagram story. Something exciting coming on Tuesday on the channel. So and it's to do with him. So if you are, as I said, if you are following him on Instagram, go and check out his story. So that's what's coming on Tuesday. Rest of the week, also got videos lined up, but obviously you'll find out when they come along. Sorry, man. I have to cut it off at 10 tracks. I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. I always say that, but I am doing it again. I'm going again in a couple weeks, mate. Don't worry. It's not very long from now. So I'll be doing this again in a couple weeks. Big love to everyone that tuned in. I hope you had a fun live stream. Again, heard some very, very solid tracks tonight from you guys. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. And big love. Keep it naughty. If it's naughty, then you know. And I shall see you all in my videos next week. Peace out.